of a trained leadership. The extremist ideology, I. Hatred for foreign rule. 2. Belief in the capacity of the masses. 3. Swarajya as goal. 4. Advocacy of direct political action and self-sacrifice. The Swadeshi and boycott movement began as a reaction to partition of Bengal, which became known in 1903, was formally announced in July 1905 and came into force in October 1905. The motive behind partition was to weaken Bengal, which was the nerve center of Indian nationalist activity. The official reason given for the partition was that Bengal had become too big to administer, which was true to some extent. Moderate-led anti-partition movement, 190305, was under Surendranath Banerjee, K.K. Mitra, Prithvishchandra Ray. Methods included public meetings, petitions, memoranda, propaganda through newspapers and pamphlets. Era of militant nationalism, 1905 to 1909, 297. The movement under extremists, 190508, was led by Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal, Lajpat Rai, Aurobindo Ghosh. Methods included boycott of foreign cloth and other goods, public meetings and processions, forming corps of volunteers or samitis, use of traditional popular festivals and melas for propaganda, emphasis on self-reliance or Atma Shakti, launching program of Swadeshi or national education, Swadeshi or indigenous enterprises, initiating new trends in Indian painting, songs, poetry, pioneering research in science and later calling for boycott of schools, colleges, councils, government, service, etc. Extremists took over because of the failure of the moderates to achieve positive results, divisive tactics of governments of both Bengals, severe government repression. Extent of mass participation, students, women, certain sections of Zamindari, labor, some lower middle and middle classes in towns and cities participated for the first time while the Muslims generally kept away. Annulment of partition mainly to curb the menace of revolutionary terrorism. Why Swadeshi movement fizzled out by 1908. Severe government repression, lack of effective organization and a disciplined focus with arrest, deportation of all leaders. The movement left leaderless, split in nationalist ranks, narrow social base. Achievements, a leap forward, because hitherto untouched sections participated. Major trends of later movement emerged. Richness of the movement extended to culture, science and literature. People educated in bolder form of politics. Colonial hegemony undermined. Major cause of moderate extremist split at Surat, 1907, moderates wanted to restrict the boycott movement to Bengal and to a boycott of foreign cloth and liquor. Extremists wanted to take the movement to all parts of the country and include within its ambit all forms of association with the government through a boycott of schools, colleges, law courts, legislative councils, government service, municipalities, etc. Government Acts for Repression of Swadeshi Movement. Seditious Meetings Act, 1907, Criminal Law Amendment Act, 1908. 298. A Brief History of Modern India. Indian Newspapers, Incitement to Offences, Act, 1908, Explosive Substances Act, 1908, Indian Press Act, 1910. Monumental reforms. Number of elected members in imperial and provincial legislative councils increased, elected non-officials still in minority. Non-officials to be elected indirectly, thus elections introduced for the first time. Separate electorates introduced for Muslims. Legislatures could pass resolutions, ask questions and supplementaries, vote separate items of the budget. One Indian to be on Viceroy's Executive Council, aimed at dividing the nationalist ranks and at rallying the moderates and the Muslims to the government's side. No responsibility entrusted to legislators. This resulted in thoughtless criticism sometimes. System of election was too indirect. First phase of revolution.